Happy Fursuit Friday!
Friday!
Oh my.
Azurean and I just came back from seeing the new Spider-Man movie.
My precious bird ears.
Spider-Man. What was it? No Way Home?
Yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home. I got my Spider-Man. I'm a little light on the feathers today because I wanted to show off the Spider-Man hoodie that I have. This is actually, I actually use this as a PJ top.
The only thing I want to say quickly about the title, I really didn't feel how well the title connected with the movie. But otherwise, phenomenal movie. It was spectacular even.
I thought it was amazing.
It was amazing. It was spectacular.
It was the ultimate Spider-Man.
Superior.
Yeah, I think it's superior.
It was definitely the ultimate Spider-Man movie.
I did actually feel that the title was very fitting, honestly.
Oh, you did?
Yes. I don't want to go into details because I don't want to spoil it for anyone.
We're going to try to keep this half of the video spoiler-free as much as possible.
Yeah. I would like to... But yeah, it makes sense to me anyway, it made perfect sense by the end of the movie.
Well, we can talk about that during the spoiler-free part, but in my opinion, I really didn't understand the title as much, so I'll be interested to hear Azurean's thoughts on that, if she will enlighten me.
Yes.
But yeah, definitely felt there were a few surprises that they managed to hide from the audiences. The trailers didn't give everything away.
Yeah.
Though they did give away quite a bit. So,
yeah, it did.
If you managed to avoid the trailers,
way too much.
Keep avoiding them until you go see the movie. Hopefully see it soon. But yeah, it was definitely a very, very amazing, very spectacular... superior even.
Okay, let's say.
Yeah.
We got the joke. We got the joke.
Is there anything you can think to say that is unspoilery? It's so hard to think here.
It's hard to say. Gosh, there's some things I want to say that aren't in the movie, but just in case those are spoilery as well, I don't want to say.
Okay.
But, yeah, I don't know. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Indeed.
And I thought even with what's spoiled in the trailers, it still offers a lot of excitement.
Agreed.
Yeah, the trailers do show off way too much.
Yeah, they really kind of do.
Yeah, like if they should have shown half as much as they did, and you'd be sitting there the whole movie go, oh, that's the reference to that other thing that happened in that other movie.
Yeah.
But
as far as who appears in the movie, other than a couple of characters, you pretty much know everybody who's going to be in the movie.
Yeah, the majority of them were in the trailers.
And unfortunately, there was one character who you're anticipating being there, but unfortunately, they don't end up coming.
Yeah, so it's like, but I mean, I think that's the same for a lot of people. I'm sure a lot of people feel that there's a ton of characters, and they're going to go to this movie expecting to see a particular villain or hero, and then and they're not going to show up.
Another thing, they didn't end up doing the thing that a lot of people thought was going to happen with a certain number.
Now we're being too vague. We should probably say so there, but ultimately...
if you know Spider-Man or like Spider-Man, definitely go see this movie. If you're a Marvel fan... How come you haven't seen this movie yet?
Yeah,
it's been out for 2 days.
I know, right? Well, maybe some of these people have jobs. I understand.
Also, there are some connections to the Disney Plus.
Yes.
And Netflix? Is it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. There's connections to pretty much...
I mean, they're very minor.
It's a multiverse thing.
If you haven't seen them... Seeing the movie, you might get encouraged to go see them. But yeah, there's a couple of different Disney Plus series references, and of course...
It's all the same universe.
So, yeah, if you haven't seen them, if you see the movie, you're going to want to see them after to understand the references. And if you have seen them, you're going to be like, oh my god, it's the thing from this other thing!
Yes, that's why I thought there would be a lot more of that in this movie. But instead they decided to actually have a storyline.
Also,
it's not like Ready Player One where it was like 90% cameos, 10% story.
You might want to watch the previous Spider-Man movie to catch up. I didn't, and I felt like I could have gotten a refresher. This movie takes place immediately after the ending of the last Spider-Man movie.
Yes, it picks up right with Spider-Man watching that news report from atop the building.
Yes.
It's the very moment, and...
It keeps going right from that... Was that the post-credits scene? I want to say it was, right?
I think so.
Because, the post-credit scene revealed who runs the vehicle.
The post-credit for the previous movie, it shows... It debuts J. Jonah Jameson in this universe.
Yes. So
still played by the same guy.
Hopefully that doesn't count as a spoiler.
It shouldn't. If you haven't seen the last Spider-Man movie by now, why are you watching a video about the next one?
Unless you don't care.
Yeah, if you don't care, then you stick around.
Okay, so 5 out of 5 stars? 10 out of 10 stars? How would you rate?
Nothing gets a perfect score.
Oh,
I would say, I'd say 4 out of 5.
Only 4?
I'm sorry, nothing gets a perfect star.
Not a 4.5?
4.5? Nah, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
Well, I would definitely give it a 4.5, or if not, a full 5 out of 5, as I thought the movie was just so good. It had so many highs and so many lows that
oh gosh,
great.
Yes, definitely on the border of tears quite a few times.
I could have swore I saw you tearing up a couple times.
I definitely. I don't know if a whole tear fell off, but my eyes did get very watery at a few points.
They were the only parts of the movie I found especially annoying. We're not from the movie itself, but from the audience we saw it with.
Yeah, which is always going to be an issue, unfortunately.
The awesome animated credits started playing, and some tall dude in the row in front of us stood up, and they were blocking a good portion of the screen for us. What the heck? Sit down.
Yeah.
Come on. I get that it's the animated credits, but it's some really well-made animated credits. It wasn't like it was the white text on a black screen. If that was the case, I'd be fine. I don't care. Even it's the cast. I care about the cast, but I can look that up on the internet. Yeah. That's fine.
I did like the way the credits were done. There's nothing super amazing, but...
the family that was sitting to our right.
This woman brought in one of those diaper change bags. Don't get excited. Yeah, but she got one of those big bags, and she sets it down and pulls out 4 or 5 bags of popcorn and starts passing around drinks and popcorn to all the people she came with.
Yeah.
And I don't think she even wanted to be there because Ikanka said she spent most of the movie underneath her coat playing with her phone.
She brought blankets.
That was a blanket?
In the thing, she had a blanket.
That's right, she did.
She had a blanket and was just watching her phone or tablet or something through a good part of the movie. There was at least one point where I was distracted by the bright light of her screen there. I was like, are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah.
And she had no shame about it. She's no interest in that. Full action scenes are going on where... butt-kicking action is happening on screen, and she couldn't care less. She was just engrossed in whatever she was watching. Thankfully, she either had some kind of things in her ears so she could hear it, or she was watching it muted or something, because at least I didn't hear the audio from it.
Yeah, I do gotta give her props. She didn't want to see this movie, but she still brought all the gear, the food, and everything for everybody that she was with, even though she didn't want to be there. So I'm gonna give her props. She's a good ally.
Okay, ally.
A good movie watching ally.
But definitely felt like there's some adult themes in the movie. I don't know how well a younger audience is gonna enjoy this movie, especially any audience that isn't familiar with the previous history of the Spider-Man franchise as a whole. But, all the older nerds who have seen previous Spider-Man movies, you're going to find something in this that you're going to be like, oh my god, that's so amazing! So, anything else you feel like adding before we move on to spoilers?
No, I think that's about it for spoilers. You know what? I decided that I don't want any spoilers myself.
Okay.
We'll send someone else. I'll let somebody else come in here because I'm not. I already seen it, but I don't feel comfortable spoiling the movie.
Okay. So Shireen's gonna leave there, and let's see. So we're gonna start the spoiler section here. So if anybody hasn't seen the movie, go. Just thank you for watching. We'll be streaming tonight on Twitch TV./transient player. The current vote on Twitter seems to be divided a bit, but we might be playing...
Don't say the game, you're going to date the video even more. What if somebody watches this video a few years from now?
Okay. Well, hopefully you'll tune in. We'll play in some games tonight. Anyhoozle, so spoilers.
You can't do this video alone.
Oh!
Yeah.
Spider-Man?
Yeah, let me get comfortable real quick.
I didn't know Spider-Man was going to show up, and here I am wearing Venom.
I couldn't let you spoil the movie without me, Venom. Eddie?
So yeah, quick spoiler about Venom. Not really much Venom in the movie.
You know what? I would go ahead and classify him as not being in the movie.
Yeah.
Because it's like...
The pre-post mid-credits, whatever the term is these days, that's where the only part he shows up for. And
even he comments like, we just got here.
Yeah.
So, and then he leaves. Should we go that far, though? Because, there's so much to cover before we get there.
But I just felt like I had to cover because I'm dressed as Venom here. I even had this on because I felt like it's the closest thing to Venom style.
This is so painful.
You want to sit down, proper Spider-Man. Or is it Spider-Girl? How do we address you?
It's Spider-Man.
Okay.
Do I get to have anything that gives you the impression that I'm anything but?
hope you all digging this premise here. Spider-Man sacrificed a lot to be here tonight.
Yes, I had to play 3 roles in that movie.
Yes.
Oh, did I spoil it? Well, it's a spoiler section.
Yeah, this is the spoiler section. 3 Spider-Man.
3 Spider-Man. You know what? I was kind of hoping that there'd be even more of me.
Agreed.
I know that there's 3 cinematic Spider-Man.
Yes, well... Live action cinematic.
Yes, live action cinematic Spider-Man, but I was kind of hoping
there was half a second where I thought they were making a Peter Porker reference.
Yeah, he misheard something and thought they said Peter Porker. How do I keep this mask straight?
I don't
know. My nose is over. Anyway, I'm totally Spider-Man. I know how to wear my own mask. Why would you suggest anything different? Yeah, there was also a live-action TV show back in the day, and I thought it would have been kind of neat to get somebody from there. Not that I'd recognize him. Maybe he was in there.
I know there was actually a video game where they took all the previous voice actors for Spider-Man, and they all got to play different versions of Spider-Man from across the multiverse.
I thought that would have been cool, because one of them...
That was actually really cool. Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions,
yes.
if anybody is wondering.
One of them was actually one of the... I think it was one of the 70s Spider-Man cartoons. It was Dan Gilvanez. He's the voice of Bumblebee. Got him on the shelf back there. He was the voice of the Bumblebee in the original cartoon.
Is he the one that ended up playing Miguel O'Hara?
I couldn't tell you. I just know that he was in that video game.
All I know is Miguel, I want to say the Spider-Man 2099 or whatever the future Spider-Man, Miguel O'Hara, was voiced by the oldest Spider-Man they had available, from what I recall.
Oh, interesting. Possibly.
And I remember that Neil Patrick Harris, who is the MTV CGI Spider-Man series.
There's my Bumblebee.
He was the black suit Spider-Man.
Oh, like he goes to a formal event.
And I forget who voiced Spider-Man Noir in that one. But that was such a cool game. It's a shame. I think it was a Wii exclusive, which was a real shame. I kind of hope they...
We are exclusive.
Oh. I kind of hope they remake that or port that to the Switch or something, especially with how much hype there is now for Spider-Man.
Hey, we're here to talk about the movie. Why are we talking about the video game? Okay,
yeah, I know.
So
I'm sorry.
Here goes the movie, right? One of the things you said is, oh gosh, should I leave that for the end? Look, you come through, and then they come in little by little, and they reintroduce each villain. Yeah. And it was the first one that appears is Dr. Octopus,
which the trailer's completely spoiled.
And then within the same scene, towards the end, you get the appearance of Green Goblin, which
the trailer's also
spoiled. And that is the first moment that you see them in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And they're pretty much taken out of the picture, right? For the most part, most of them are taken out of the picture right away. Doc Ock is basically defeated in that when you see him on the bridge, there's a little bit more fighting, and eventually he's defeated. He takes a little bit of Spider-Man's nanites and Yes. What am I saying? He took some of my nanites, but then I used the nanites to control his arms and then defeated him. And that basically, I thought for sure at some point in the movie, those nanites have failed, but they never do.
Yeah,
they never fail.
On top of that, nobody accidentally turns off the controls that keep him locked up.
They have my control unit sitting right there, and you expect someone to accidentally hit the button? Never happens.
I accidentally hit the button, and now he's loose.
I'm so happy they didn't do that. Basically, he captures them all, and they stay captured until he decides to let them out because he trusted them. Mm-hmm. And even then, Dr. Octopus, like, he retained his, he was able to return to his normal self that he was at the beginning of the movie he was introduced in.
Spider-Man 2's.
Yep. And I was a little surprised at, what is it, Flint Marco?
Yes, the Sandman.
Yes. He is still played by the same dude, because they could have easily...
Thomas Hayden Church.
Thomas Hayden Church they could have done him without it since he was all CGI anyway, for most of it.
Until the very end of the movie, he was completely stuck in sand form the whole time, which didn't really track for me. That was a little unusual. If we're not giving this a full 5 stars or 5 whatever, that would be one of the points that I'd take away was just, why didn't he ever have his green striped shirt look like he should have had?
Yeah.
He should have been able to return to his humanoid form while still being sand. Yeah. There's no reason he had to stay. But
maybe he preferred that form.
Looking like that.
Maybe he was like, hey, this is the form I am now.
I mean...
And it might not be the form I was born with.
The only thing I could think of was they were trying to, keep them from having to render his face to look younger, and because he probably doesn't look as young as he did in the movie. About the only thing I could think of. But
yeah, but then you're only talking... But
Alfred Molina and Willem Dafoe were both...
They look wonderful.
Like, fully on camera the whole time. Yeah. In fact... surprisingly, that scene with the Green Goblin on the bridge from the trailer is the only time he's even wearing the helmet.
Yes, he
gets rid of that, quote, dumb Power Ranger mask, as Weird Al succinctly put it. Although, I do believe they modified the mask to be a little bit more accurate, having a purple tint to the tip of the mask. But yeah, he ditches that mask as soon as the next scene happens.
And then he eventually ends up with he was wearing a purple hoodie, which gets tattered, and then resembles him far more closely to the comics, or familiar.
A Hobgoblin, a little bit of Green Goblin, but I thought that was cool. I had pondered whether or not they were going to have some kind of thing going with his face, or if he was going to find some kind of mask to put on, but I'm glad they didn't go that way. He did do goggles.
He did. He did do goggles. I also liked, Electro returns. And
Electro was definitely the most changed out of all the characters that showed up in one movie to another. I don't know what the deal was there. I don't remember... I can't think of his name now.
Jamie Foxx?
Jamie Foxx, yeah. Jamie Foxx didn't feel like putting any kind of makeup on. He was just his handsome self the whole movie.
Yeah.
And he mentioned how, it was like, oh, my accident, cured my teeth.
Yeah.
Hey, didn't you used to have a really bad comb over and some gap teeth? What's going on there? Did you get a makeover?
Yeah, because that was for some reason took up a good amount of screen time and the second...
Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, Andrew Garfield.
Yes.
Yes, in the second movie he was in. But that happens in the movie. His teeth get fixed and his hair gets better.
But, does his hair get better? We really don't see his hair.
Yeah, you see it for a little bit.
Turns blue and loses all of his human skin.
Yeah, you get to see. He loses his human body, but he does get handsome for a moment. Everything gets fixed because he got electric powers. It makes no sense. Sense.
What doesn't make sense is how the other characters even knew him.
No, because he worked for him for a while. He worked in that building for a while, mostly unnoticed. But the idea was that one of the guys did notice him and did recognize him.
But I thought the whole point was that Spider-Man was the only one who seemed to notice him, gave him the time of day. So I'm surprised anybody even recognized who he was, to even know who Max Dillon was.
Yeah, well, it's it's not unreasonable.
That wasn't too much of an issue for me as far as characters recognizing. I thought they did a great job of, having the other characters know who each others were and what happened in their particular movie to reference the events in case you haven't seen them in a while. But, I know most of the original trilogy pretty well, so I didn't need any refreshers on that. Like I said, I kind of wish I rewatched the last Spider-Man movie.
Yeah. Okay, well, there was another one.
MJ and Ned, I thought both got treated pretty well.
Yes, it's nice to see Ned
Leeds.
I don't remember my own friend's name.
The man in the chair.
Yeah, he gets a good part there, and you get to see his, I believe, Filipino family.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I was really tired, and I might just be, projecting, because I know someone who's half Filipino, and I'm like, this is like their family there. You know what? I'm going to look at it. You keep talking. I'm going to go look it up real quick.
So, yeah, I thought it was really cool that Ned, kind of knew some behind-the-scenes things about the Sanctum Sanctorum, about magic, and was even able to do some magic with a little tool assistance there. And definitely, well, I guess with the ending of the movie, it's not looking too likely that they're going to have any kind of super life after this movie. But it seemed like it could have worked out that way.
Yeah, it turns out the actor anyway is Filipino. Both of his parents are Filipino. He's born in Hawaii, but he is born to two Filipino.
His name is Jacob
Batalan.
And he is 25. Yeah. He managed to pull off looking fairly young for being 25.
Yeah, and it was neat to see. It's like, that's like
Zendaya as MJ.
Yes, she was wonderful as well. Still no red hair. But that's okay. You know what? Her character is so great, you don't even miss it, really.
And on top of the fact, her character is supposed to be, just an entirely different interpretation of the character. In fact, the MJ in her name doesn't even stand for Mary Jane. Mm-hmm. I don't remember what it stands for offhand.
It was...
something Jones.
Oh, come on. Don't put me on the spot here. I don't remember my girlfriend's name. Okay, well, let's see what we got. I think we covered everybody. We had Sandman in there.
Let's see.
We had Electro.
The Lizard. The Lizard kind of didn't get as much time. But,
he didn't really need... His whole shtick is that I was a scientist and I want to turn people into lizards. That was it. And he succeeded. Well, I mean, he didn't succeed, but to a small degree.
The only complaint I have about his character was when he got cured at the end. We didn't even see if he's still kept his arm or if he went back to having a stump for an arm.
Sure he went back to the stump. But yeah, you're right. It didn't seem very clear.
I know in the cartoon series from the 90s...
his arm would shrivel up.
He did. There was one time where he got to keep his arm, wasn't there?
Initially, the first time he did it.
So yeah, it was like, I don't know.
But yeah, that was fine. Electro, we forgot to mention with Electro, he gets his human body somehow returns, and he takes on a more classic Electro appearance later on, where he's wearing the new outfit with the arc reactor that he stole.
The arc reactor.
Yeah, he steals it, and he uses it to power himself because he's actually lost a lot of his power because of they're trying to fix him, and or make him powerless.
Yes.
And when he would use his power, a little star-shaped electricity would appear around his face, so he'd look just like the cartoon or the comic books.
That was the only one thing that, again, was spoiled by the trailers.
Yeah, you can see it briefly, and it's only in flashes. It doesn't stay on his face. But I was like, that's like the comics. I mean, when I fought him in the comics. It's crazy.
The other weird thing was Sandman kind of switches allegiances throughout the movie. When he first appears, he's on Spider-Man's side. He helps him fight Electro because they show up at the same time for some reason.
Yeah. Well, he shows up to protect Peter. He was apparently following Peter, and then when Electro started attacking, he immediately starts defending Peter.
Yes.
But then it seems that Peter kills him when he just sends him away to a little magical prison cell.
Oh, yes.
And then he's like, did you kill that guy? Because he gets upset because he thought Peter killed him.
Yeah.
So then Peter sends him away too. And then eventually figures it. But yeah, he does seem to flip-flop, but ultimately he says he doesn't trust anybody. And he was just he was trying to take a safe distance from everybody.
Even when they were all hanging out at the apartment there, like, he kind of wasn't willing to help. I mean, I get it. He's not a scientist. He's just
he's just a guy,
a common criminal who just did it to get the money for his kids.
Yeah.
Or kid?
I don't remember.
I think it was just a daughter.
Like, the point is, he wasn't. I think the reason they did that is because they didn't need two overly sympathetic characters. They put that all on Doc Ock.
I mean, I know that in the comics, Sandman actually becomes a hero for a while. He and Venom both kind of go from being completely villain to being
anti-hero.
Anti-hero always sounds weird, but yeah, anti-hero. So it was kind of interesting to see him actually, work together with Spider-Man for a bit. But by the end of the movie, he ends up being, deciding, I'm going to be a bad guy.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, that was a little bit iffy. But, it wasn't that big of a deal. It was cool to see him fighting there. And then, of course, the big reveal that everybody knew was going to come, but the trailers didn't technically spoil.
Yeah.
The 3 Spider-Man.
Yes.
And the whole audience... Both times the 2 new Spider-Man showed up, went wild.
Yeah, they guys like Ned opens, he gets the little portal ring and he opens it up and he's like, show me Peter Parker. And then of course Peter Parker looks at the portal and just as Spider-Man, he comes through and it's
Andrew
Garfield. And I was like, oh my god.
Amazing Spider-Man.
It was really exciting. The longer they lingered on that shot, it's like, this is not going to be the Peter Parker we're expecting. And it was Andrew Garfield. It was so great. And then they did it again. They were like, we're just going to have to keep doing it until we get ours.
Yeah.
And they did it.
Like, no offense.
Yeah, I get it. That's what they told me.
And then Tobey Maguire.
And it was like, oh my god, these guys still look pretty good.
Yeah.
They're older. Andrew Garfield doesn't really look like he aged, but...
Tobey Maguire totally didn't look like a kid anymore, and they even addressed that. Yeah, there is a moment where...
he still looks like him. He still looks great.
No, I'm sorry. Man. Yeah. You're definitely a man now, Peter.
Yeah, he looks at because he sees how much he's changed now that Dr. Octopus has his faculties back.
Yeah.
He looks at that version of Peter and he's like just kind of pleased to see him, and it was really sweet.
I mean, in the movie before he went mad, they were friends. Close.
Yeah, they worked together, and they at some point after all this fighting, this is what has all the Peters get together and they try to fix the villains.
Oh, then of course there was the weird moment that we found out there's no Norman Osborn in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yep.
The Green Goblin Norman that we know from the original Tobey Maguire movie says that he went to go home and somebody else was living there, and there doesn't appear to be any Norman Osborn in this universe.
Oscorp.
No Oscorp. Yeah, I think that's what he actually said. Yeah. There's no Oscorp.
Somebody else is living in my home, and there's no Oscorp.
So yeah, you can't go home again when you're not in your own universe.
And there you go. No Way Home.
Oh!
And every character...
Oh my goodness!
Every character kind of like echoes it to some degree.
And then of course there's the fact that we find out each of them is only there just after they would have died in the movie they came from.
Mm-hmm.
As the biggest one was just, how is the Green Goblin here? You died. You were killed by your own glider.
Yeah, and then like
it's like, what are you talking about? That didn't happen to me.
Yeah, and then Sandman is like, yo, you're both dead.
Yeah, you're both dead. You died there, and you got killed by your own super sun thing. You drowned in the river.
Yeah. So it's like...
It was all over the news. Everybody heard about it.
Everybody, I think, died in the movies, except for Sandman. I think Sandman gets away. Did he die? I thought he got away.
I think he turned into sand. I think he kind of turned to a beach.
Oh.
I think that's what it was. I might be just reading the comic.
That happens in the cartoon show. He turns into like the beach run.
They do that in the comics and the cartoon.
Yeah, but he was still there though. Like he wasn't really dead. He was just like, screw this. I'm just gonna be a beach for a while.
Yeah, something like that.
Because it's like that old saying, life's a beach. I am Spider-Man.
Yes, you are.
So it was super cool seeing all the Spider-Men work together.
Indeed.
They all got a decent amount of screen time,
that was
too.
another thing. The other two Spider-Men were not used to being a team, so when they were all trying to work together, they kept, like...
Yeah, they just
kept butting heads, and, sorry if that hurts.
Oh, no.
Sorry, Spidey.
You may have...
You okay there, buddy?
It's all good.
But yeah, they were button heads for a while until they're, the Spider-Man from our universe was like, hey, do you guys not have Avengers? Like, what are Avengers?
Yeah.
And they were like, oh my gosh, you don't have the Earth's Mightiest Heroes?
But then they decide to work together, and they take out the bad guys one by one with their lightsaber cure tools.
Sense.
You notice those were lightsabers, yeah?
What?
A few of those props are like, they use lightsabers as bases.
Really? I did not catch that.
They're like big silver tubes with buttons and knobs. It's like, those are lightsabers.
Well, I know the one they used on the Lizard was actually a metal water bottle from the university.
Yes.
That was actually pretty clever. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, so they basically came with a cure for each one, and they're like, we got to cure them one by one. So they had to cure a Green Goblin like twice because the first cure didn't take.
Yeah, that really didn't.
I thought it was just a delayed response.
Yeah.
Well, I think it tracked quite well. You can't cure a disease you barely know anything about in the span of a couple of hours. Like, they did a miracle.
I mean,
and they had one mix-up?
Yeah. Hold on a second. The cure that did cure him eventually was the one Tobey Maguire Spider-Man came up with.
Yes.
He said he'd been working on it for years.
Yeah, he had
trying to figure out what could have cured him.
Yep.
Which is still a little off. So why would he bother after he's been dead for years?
Yeah, but he wanted to study it anyway, or maybe he couldn't give it up. Or, the same thing happened to Harry, so he had to go and help.
Maybe
he's like, what if it happens again? Besides, it was more about him redeeming some thing he couldn't change in the past.
Exactly. That was the other thing. Ned is kind of bugging the other two Spider-Man about their lives. And do you have a best friend in your universe? Because I'm Spider-Man's best friend. And he's like, you want to tell it? No?
You tell it.
Okay. So he's asking, do you have a best friend? It's like, yeah, I did. He became a villain, and he died.
Yeah, he died in my arms.
It's like, I promise, buddy, I promise never to become a villain and try to kill you, okay?
Yeah.
Like, okay, sure.
All right, well, it
was so funny.
It was pretty cool. They defeat all the bad guys. They went together to defeat the bad guys.
And Doctor Strange has quite a role in the movie as well.
Yeah, he gets the ball rolling, and he pops in a few times, and he pops in during the final battle, and they're like, where were you?
Yeah. We could have used your help. Where were you?
Yeah, but he seemed to imply that Ned may have had some prowess in using magical prowess, using oh no, what has happened here?
Sling ring?
We are frozen.
Oh no!
What has happened here?
I was frozen today!
Oh, okay, is it still... Our video went on too long.
How long are we going? Only half an hour.
Only? That's a long-ass time for a YouTube video.
Alright, well, if you can still hear us, thanks for watching Skunk and Vanda and Spider-Man.
Yes, thanks for joining.
If Reed were here, I'm sure she'd say goodbye too. Bye-bye.
I'm totally here. Oh, wait, one last thing. Don't wait up for Venom. He's not in the movie.
Yeah,
he's not in the movie. He is in the credits. They show him, and he's all like, yes, I know we're not moving, but he's all like, oh, I'm drunk, and we just got here. We can't leave now. When they're getting all whisked away back to their home dimensions.
Yeah.
And then it turns out he leaves a little piece of himself behind. Oh, and the cracks in real life. I forgot to mention that. There's also this one point where Doctor Strange has to help close the portals again. And if you look at the cracks in reality, there's all these vague shapes. And some of them start to look more like classic Spider-Man villains. Like the Rhino is the only one I noticed directly.
I didn't notice any of them.
I was like, that's the comic book
looking forward to watching those videos talking about it. Right. So hopefully that will clear things up. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. And see you next week, hopefully. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Or tomorrow.